Hi, my name is Kelly with the Tech District, and today we're going to be talking about MHL adapters. MHL adapters are these pretty cool little devices that allow you to display your phone onto your TV. MHL is a rather new technology that is still developing, and it stands for Mobile High Definition Link. Essentially, it's a digital signal that can come from really any kind of port to any kind of other port. The most popular form of transmitting the signal is from USB to an HDMI port. So what manufacturers have done is on certain devices, mostly phones, they've included this technology in the charging port, which for most Android phones is a micro USB. And then you have televisions, which mainly only have two kind of inputs. The old RCA inputs, the red, yellow, and white cables, and the now popular HDMI port, which is used for high definition video. That's where this MHL adapter comes in and bridges the gap. It has a micro USB on one end and an HDMI port on the other. It's really as simple as plugging the USB into your phone and then plugging in an HDMI cable that is connected to your TV to the other end. One thing I do want to point out though is that the adapters require a power source. This particular model I have uses a micro USB port, so I can just use my regular phone charger as a power source. Some people have a USB they can use on their TV for the power. Mine is an older model and doesn't have that, so I just use a typical wall unit instead. There isn't any software to deal with, it's just plug and play. And there you go, you've now pushed your phone's display to your big screen TV. And now I know you're wondering, well, what good is this? There are plenty of uses. Say you want to watch something on Netflix, but you don't have a streaming box already connected to your TV. You could just plug your phone in instead, and it displays just fine. This is especially useful for those on a budget. This one I picked up on Amazon was only about $6. This was the cheapest one and it works just fine. They do have others ranging from about $12 to $25 for the Samsung branded ones, which is probably made with much better material. The particular one I'm using in this review is the Synoxy brand, and it feels pretty cheap. Cable's a little stiff, and honestly, I'm a little afraid to bend it much because it feels like it would fall apart. But I guess you do get what you pay for, and it is cheap and it feels cheap, but it does get the job done. Another use could be to use your TV as a music player. Personally, I don't have any speakers for my computer, and the Wi-Fi signal in my room isn't very strong, so streaming music on my computer has come to be pretty challenging. My phone, however, gets my Wi-Fi signal just fine, and although the speakers on my phone work great, I'm sure they won't last forever if I'm blasting music through it all day. So instead, I can hook up my phone to my TV, bring up Google Music, and I can start streaming. Another feature to point out is that my TV just happens to be a plasma, and we all know plasma TVs can burn images into the screen if it stays on for too long. Like here, the USA logo has burned in from leaving it on all day. But luckily, if I hit the sleep button on my phone, the display on the TV goes away, but the audio continues to play, which is perfect for me because I get my loud music without damaging my TV screen. There are plenty of other uses. You could easily just show off what you're doing on your phone. Maybe you downloaded a new game, or you needed to read your favorite blog on a bigger screen. Maybe even do a presentation at a meeting. There are numerous amounts of situations where this could prove handy. As far as technical specs go, they vary. MHL is capable of pushing a 1080p display from your phone to your TV, but not all phones are even up to 720 yet, and my phone in particular has an 800 by 480 display, and it looks just fine on the TV. It transitions very well, but there is a very slight lag you can see, but when you think about it passing through so many different ports, being a few milliseconds off is a little excusable. The Synoxy adapter I have here only pushes 720. The pricier models can push 1080, which for some is definitely worth that $6 difference, especially if you use this adapter to travel around. It'll work for any TV without degrading the max quality it could deliver, but my TV is only a 720, so the adapter couldn't deliver 1080 even if it were capable, but there are different needs for everybody. Now another thing I should mention is that MHL has to be supported in order for these adapters to work. You can't just plug in any phone up. It is supported by most of the newer Samsung phones, the Galaxy Nexus, the HTC phones, and some of the newer LG models. Be sure to check your phone's manual to be sure, and Google is your friend. There is also a list of compatible MHL devices on the MHL wiki page. The phone I used in this review is the Samsung Galaxy S2 Skyrocket. All in all, MHL is a pretty interesting technology, and for those of you who need a quick media center and only have your phone, this is really the only way to do it.